here's a fun thought experiment for you. What if Hyundai took their Elantra sedan and turned it into a mid-engine supercar? That's what I'm gonna attempt to do in today's video. We're gonna take the Elantra, remove 2 doors, move forward the greenhouse, lower it, add some wheels and new spoilers onto this, and turn it into a proper mid-engine supercar. So have Hyundai tried to do this before? Actually, they have. They tried to do it with the Veloster as a prototype, but unfortunately, they canceled it for being too expensive. Here we have the Elantra and the Elantra N. I really like this design. Hyundai and Lexus, I think, are the 2 brands right now. They can add a ton of lines and creases into their designs without it feeling over stylized. And the reason why it doesn't feel over stylized is because of the line flow that we have. So look at this line that goes right here. Even from the front end bumper, going through the front fender into the shoulder line, and then coming back right here as another line that kind of frames the taillight. And then we have this almost like an arrow shape in the side, which creates a forward motion for this design. I think it looks really cool. This is a new interpretation of how you can play around with the surfacing that's the doors, where usually not a lot of things happen. So it's a very cool approach by Hyundai to do this, and I think they've managed to create a nice brand identity for themselves using this kind of chiseled design language. So looking at the Elantra N here before we jump into the redesign, what I like about this is that we have some sportier side skirts, a sportier front lip right here, and a diffuser. We also have this wing that I'm not a huge fan of because it looks too flat. It looks like it just sits on top of the trunk. I want to have it stick out a little bit more like an STI wing, but it still looks pretty cool. And then we have the same kind of line flow, which you can see even better here, I guess, and some crazy sections going on inside of this surface, as you can see here. If we're gonna turn this Elantra into a mid-engine supercar, what exactly needs to happen? Well, let me show you what we're gonna do. First of all, gonna copy this section right here and lower it down so that the roofline, everything sits lower. This height is going to be reduced in half, same thing in the rear end. And we also gonna change the wheels and the width of this to make it look planted like a sumo wrestler ready to pounce. And we also need to, of course, move the greenhouse here. We need to move this forward because that's what front engine cars have. They have the A-pillar almost ending at this point, almost right where the tires start. So we need to move the A-pillar forward a bit. And also maybe, I'm gonna have to see if we're gonna have to stretch out the front end or maybe lower it a little bit. And of course, add some spoilers and some tuning pieces onto this design, while also removing this rear door completely and reworking the C-pillar to make the C-pillar thicker to act as a protection or almost a housing for the engine that's gonna sit right here. So with that said, let's jump into the redesign. Let's see how this is going to turn out. So that was my redesign of the Elantra, turning it into a mid-engine supercar. I think it looks awesome as a two-door coupe. Not really 100% mid-engine proportions, but I don't think that's necessary because we're not gonna have a V12 back there. It's probably gonna be a top 6-cylinder or 4-cylinder even with a turbo, so we don't really need the extended rear end that we have on supercars or hypercars in this specific design. And I also like that the front lip and the side skirt and the diffuser brings the car lower to the ground, and it still definitely looks like an Elantra. It now just has 2 doors and the engine in the back. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click on this video up here to check out this redesign as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.